Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first webinar of 2026, if you can believe it. Only 3 more months until I start saying 2026 without having to think about it. If I got a nickel for every time I've been saying 2025, I'd have at least $5, I think, at this point. But yes, hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We are super excited for our webinar today. It's all about looking back at our social media updates from December that you may have missed. I don't know about all of you, but for me, December was a whirlwind. Don't ask me to say any single thing that happened in December because I don't remember, but we have it written down. So if anyone is in the same boat as me, I got you, we got you. We've got all of the social media updates written down, ready to go. So yeah. But as you're joining, okay, I see people are already doing this. I love that this is a tradition. I feel like we can never change our intro question ever again. I love that people are always saying this. Let us know where you're joining from and what the weather is like where you are. I'm so excited to say what the weather is like here because it's a massive snowstorm.
Yeah.
I have a big snow walk planned after work today. So yeah, it's a big snowstorm over here in Toronto. I think, Alyssa, it's the same for you.
Yes, it is still snowing here, and I'm just dreading that I have to shovel my driveway at some point in the day. And I was going to do it at lunch, but I'm like, you know what? It's still snowing. Let's just wait. And I have a feeling I'm just going to keep saying that, and then it's going to just build up too much.
Is so fair. I'm just looking at some of the responses. They are going so quickly, but I think, okay, yes, I see someone is from Puerto Rico, 80 degrees and sunny. If you get sick and tired of that, let me know. I'll switch with you anytime. We've got Hannah from Milwaukee, someone from Edmonton, Alabama. Oh, Jen, yes. That's a good idea to bring your camera on a snow walk. I love it. California and sunny. Okay, just kidding. Only say where you're coming from if it's a cold place. I'm just kidding. All right. We'll get right into the housekeeping slides and then we'll dive right into our webinar. So if this is your first time at a webinar, maybe you found this on LinkedIn, someone sent it your way and you're like, wait, what is HeyOrca? Hello, that's us. We are a social media management tool for teams and agencies here to help you with all of your scheduling needs and to build communities all in one place. Our tool is super powerful for marketers. It's simple for clients and it comes with unlimited users, my favorite fact. If you aren't already following us on socials, you absolutely should be. Shout out to our incredible Jessica, our social media manager. She does such a great job of making our socials fun, educational, engaging. So definitely give us a follow over there. And then we'll do a quick round of intros. So my name is Natalie, and I am the events and experiential specialist here at HeyOrca. So I'm obsessed with all things events, connecting with our community, both online and IRL. So that's me, and I will pass it over to Alyssa.
Thanks. My name is Alyssa, and I'm a community strategist here at HeyOrca. So I work on our newsletter, our Facebook group, and our HeyOrca expert community. And I see some of you in the chat, which is amazing.
Amazing. All right. And now it's time to talk about our giveaways. We love doing a giveaway on our webinar. So we are giving away one $50 Amazon gift card. And you might be thinking, oh, it's probably super hard to enter to win this Amazon gift card. Nope, it's actually so easy. All you have to do is share what you learned from this webinar on LinkedIn. Just tag us, write something like, oh, this update really resonated with me, or this was a surprising thing, or I'm really excited about this. Anything you might have learned, make sure to tag us at HeyOrca on LinkedIn so that we see it. And yeah, if you're like, oh, I have such a hard time writing things on LinkedIn, you're not alone. I do too. But a little hot tip from us is you might find it easy to take a screenshot of one of the slides and then use that to springboard into a post. So yes. And one last thing to clarify, sometimes it can get confusing. If you've won before, you can still enter and win again because it is a random selection. So technically you could make it your goal to win every single webinar giveaway in 2026. I'm not a statistician. I don't know what the possibility of that is, but it is technically possible because it is a random selection every single time. So if you've won before, enter again, you might win again. That being said, if you've attended a webinar in the past, you might remember we did LinkedIn polls. Those haven't gone away. They're just for fun now. Because we love having you guys weigh in on things. So this week we're asking, or this week we're asking, have you used YouTube's title and thumbnail A/B testing feature yet? If you're like, what is that? Stay tuned. It's one of our updates that we'll talk about. Okay, perfect. And Jesse has added the link for the poll into the chat, so you can head on over there. If you've already used it and you're like, I'm ahead of the game, head over there and vote. And if you haven't, stay tuned, check it out, and then give it a vote. And one last thing before we get started. I have a question for you, our incredible webinar community. So the question is, let's say hypothetically, I don't know, maybe we were thinking of having a virtual summit, like an all-day event that you could attend, hypothetically. We would love to know, what and who would you like to see? What kind of topics, what kind of speakers, anything? We would love to hear from you. Pick your brains, get your thoughts. So give it a little think, put it in the chat. Ileana, Jessica, and Jesse are in the chat to chat more with you guys in there, but we would just love to hear from you. Hypothetically speaking, of course, but we just want to hear. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm seeing gimme, gimme, gimme. Hypothetically, yes. Okay, I love it. Okay, hooray. Yes, give us all what you want to see. Let us know. All right, my friends, without further ado, all that housekeeping out of the way, we're going to get into our year-end webinar. So this is the agenda for the day. We're going to start off with some video trends. Now you might be thinking, December video trends, are these too old? Nope, we've picked recent ones. Shout out to Jessica for selecting like recent ones that you can definitely still hop on. And we always try and pick like ones that don't take too much effort, don't take too much time. We want to make your lives easier because we know how hard you all work. So some trends that you can hop on and use. Then we'll go over our social media updates from December, and then we will talk about some updates from HeyOrca. So without further ado, let's get started with our video trends. And okay, we'll hop on in the first one. So what I'll do is I'll play the video and then we'll kind of explain it. And this one you might already recognize, or this one our incredible Jessica hopped on. So I'm going to play it and then we'll chat about it.
Well, you have to believe me. Please. You have to believe me. You have to.
So this one, as you can see, she wrote the text, how it feels when I'm trying to convince my family that I'm in fact working and not scrolling for fun. So this is your chance to put any industry myths, anything that you hear all the time that's not true, something like that about your job. You can use this audio and just lip sync to it. And again, shout out to Jessica for incredible lip syncing skills. I feel like it would take me 3 weeks of attempts and it would not be half as good as this.
I feel like Jessica could be an actress. She's so good.
I agree. Although let's not give her any ideas because I don't ever want her to leave. No, but it's true. Yes. All right, guys, on to the next one. This one just made me laugh. It's so simple. I'm going to play it here.
Can I interest you in something called me?
Super simple audio just to hop on. You can use it to show off your product, or if you've got like a brick and mortar workspace, anything like that. If you don't want to show your face in it, or like your team doesn't want to show their face in it, you can then use that to just show your product in it. Or you can, again, use it to introduce yourselves, or use it to, introduce your team, something like that. And I'm also seeing Jessica in the chat. What are your thoughts on the 2016 trend? Yes, that one just started popping up, I feel like today and yesterday, and I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on that. If you're not sure what that is, people are just basically doing photo dumps on Instagram of pictures from 2016, what they looked like, what they were doing, what their feeds looked like. I'm loving it, but I don't know if I'll participate because I don't know if I have any pictures of myself from 2016. All right, on to the next one. Okay.
Better pack your tears in two-way suitcase and roll away with my heart. Better pack your tears.
So this one is, I'm calling it the XYZ aholic trend. Again, a super easy way to either like show off yourself, introduce yourself, or show off your product. Basically, you can just film whatever it is, and on the screen you write like XYZ holic. So if you're a cafe, you can show your lattes and your coffees and whatnot, and be like a coffee holic, things like that to hop on the trend. And again, you can show off the products or the services if you don't want to show your face in it. And the very last one, this one, I scrolled through, I think, like 5 videos, and they were all this trend. So it is hot if you want to jump on it right now. So this is just the how is XYZ going trend. I have seen a couple of these where like the pictures are happy, and I have seen some of these where the pictures are like this one, pretty full of despair. So you can have it go both ways, but you can use it to poke fun, like, I don't know, how's your brain doing after the holiday break, and have all these photos doing. That's probably what I would do if I was jumping on it. But yeah, anything if you want to poke fun at anything that's a little bit tricky in your industry, things like that. And just, pretty simple. Just have the text on screen and then hop to this compilation of images. All right. And now we'll hop right back into our webinar and go right into our December social media updates. And I am going to pass it off to Alyssa with the Instagram updates.
All right, so we will dive right in. And usually Instagram has a ton, but I feel like in December it had like an okay amount compared to past months. So the first one is really cool. So some Instagram users can now give their followers early access to Reels for 24 hours. So if you want to give your community a sneak peek of something before it goes live to the whole world, I feel like this would be such a fun feature to use. I haven't seen this in the wild yet, but it'd be really fun to test this because I just think it's cool to give your followers something that not everyone can see. So if you have seen this, let me know in the chat. Another interesting one is that you can now share public Instagram stories you're not tagged in to your own stories. So if there's, you're seeing a story and you think it's awesome and you want to share that to your story, you can now do that even if you're not tagged in it. And when you share it to your story, it will also still credit the original creator, which is great. But if you're someone who does not want people to put your stories onto theirs, you can disable this feature in your privacy settings. So something to keep an eye out for. And of course, Edits has new features. I don't think we've had a month where Edits hasn't had new features since Edits came out. So of course, Edits was on fire still. So it released templates, which is fun because I love when video editing platforms have templates because it just makes everything easier. And it also launched storyboards and add public reels to your videos. So yeah, every week it's still adding things every single week, which is crazy because you'd think they'd run out of features by now, but they're not. I just saw today they added more. It's going to be in the newsletter tomorrow if you want to check it out. But yeah, they're on fire. And this one is interesting, and I want to know your thoughts in the chat. You can now watch Reels on your TV. So Instagram is testing Reels on the TV so that you can watch creators on the big screen with all your friends. And Reels are going to be organized into interest-based channels with future plans to add features like phone as remote controls, shared feeds, and easier ways to follow your favorite creators. I feel like for myself, I don't know if I want to watch Reels on the TV. I feel like I will watch YouTube videos on TV, but I just can't watch reels, I think. I don't know. Maybe it will take off, but for me, I just don't think I would like it.
I think I agree. There's nothing like, for me personally, there's nothing like at the end of a long day being in bed with my phone
Yeah.
and watching reels. And I just thought to myself, like, and I will watch reels with my partner. So I do
Yeah.
get the appeal of collective watching. I just don't know if watching on a TV would have the same magic, because it
I
just
agree.
feels so good on a phone.
I know. I just feel like it will ruin the effect. I don't know. But, maybe we should try it out and see how it is. But very interesting. So we'll see. It is kind of in the testing phase right now. So if anyone tries this out, please let us know if you enjoyed it. All right. And I'll pass it to Natalie for TikTok updates.
Okay, perfect. All right. So the first TikTok update from December is that TikTok is to launch a nearby feed in Europe. So it's expanding its nearby feed. Let me know if you guys already have this. I have one that's showing me videos like from Toronto. And it just lets users discover local creators and businesses and trending spots based off their location. You have the option to share more precise location data for better recs. So it's rolling out in parts of Europe. The feature is optional if you don't love the thought of this, and it is only for people 18 plus. And yeah, the point of it is to boost local discovery and real world engagement. But yeah,
That's fun for like if you're on vacation and you're like, I want to find somewhere to go that's maybe not like super touristy. I feel like TikTok always shows me cool places, so I feel like it'd be fun for that.
That's so true. That also does remind me of the fact of like, it's always a little jarring when you are on vacation and you suddenly start seeing like reels that know, or TikToks that know that you're in that country. Yeah. All right, perfect. Now on to the next one. Again, something about collective watching was on everyone's minds in December. You can now create a shared feed with your friends on TikTok. So it's called Shared Collections, and it lets friends or family save and organize TikToks together in one place. So to start one, you both have to be following each other. You can't start one with a complete stranger. You invite a friend when saving a video or viewing it, and then the collections can be kept private or shared publicly, which I think is pretty interesting for like, I don't know, collabs or I don't know, something like that. But yeah. On to the next one. TikTok reveals the most popular songs on the apps from 2025. And this is a really interesting fact. In 2025, 8 out of the 10 Billboard number ones in 2025 had a TikTok viral moment first, which is crazy. And I feel like makes perfect sense, but it's very cool to see. So Cat's Eye was TikTok's Global Artist of the Year. Pretty Little Baby was the track of the year. Sorry in advance if that gets stuck in everyone's heads. It definitely got stuck in mine when making this. And Anxiety by Doechii was TikTok's music trend of the year. Okay, we got Ileana. It is back in her head. Yes. All right. And a super cool update we love to see. TikTok has added more accessibility features such as disabling HDR video playback and the options to reduce motion in video clips. So this is great to see. This will ease cognitive load for people with motion or neurological sensitivities. These updates are building on existing tools like text-to-speech and captions to make the platform more comfortable for a wider audience and offering greater control over visual intensity and movement. We love to see this, so that is great. All right, and that's all for TikTok. I will pass it off to Alyssa for YouTube.
Perfect. Okay, so it's YouTube's 20th anniversary, which is crazy to even think that a social platform has been around that long. But since it was their 20th anniversary, they made a list to show how creators are continuing to shape pop culture. So among the top creators, Mr. Beast took the #1 spot for the 6th year in a row, which I feel like is not surprising. And the top topics included Squid Games, Brain Rot, and Labubu, which is very interesting. So yes, that report was fun to read. And some of you may have seen the new law in Australia. So there's a minimum age requirement for social media now, and it's 16. So YouTube will be complying with Australia's social media ban for users under 16. So this took effect December 10th. So if someone under the age of 16 was logged into YouTube when it hit December 10th, they were kicked out of YouTube until they turned 16. So that's an interesting update. This one is really cool. So YouTube's expressive captions will be available on all devices. So expressive captions uses AI to communicate things like tone, volume, environmental cues, and human noises, which is really cool because sometimes if you're reading closed captions, you're reading what they're saying, but you're not really getting the tone, like you're not sure how they're saying something or, like what's going on in that way. So I think it's really awesome that they put those cues into the caption. So very cool update. And this is our poll question. So head over to that poll if you haven't voted yet. But YouTube has expanded its access to the title A/B testing feature. So this will test performance of up to 3 titles, thumbnails, or a combination of the two, which is really cool. So after a period of up to 2 weeks, the winning option will be selected, and that's the one that will be shown to all viewers. So I think this is really cool. If you are posting on YouTube a lot, you may as well try it out. I feel like it's fun to see which title and which thumbnails are working best. So definitely check that out. And this is reminding me of TikTok, but YouTube is trying out still image carousels on Shorts. So very similar to TikTok, you would be able to do a carousel of images. I think for YouTube, up to 10 images for YouTube Shorts, and they will appear in your Shorts feed, which I feel like is a good idea because I think photo posts on TikTok do really well. Like I see them all the time. So it makes sense that YouTube is trying it out. And I'll pass it to Natalie for Facebook.
Okay, perfect. So this first one is for both, I guess, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, but they will launch a hub to support users with hijacked accounts. So this is an update that I hope no one ever has to use. I hope no one ever experiences this. However, if this ever happens, Meta is launching a centralized support hub for Facebook and Instagram oh my goodness, we're noticing here that the text is wrong. But essentially this hub is oh no, sorry everyone, I misread that, to help with recovering accounts. It's rolling out globally on iOS and Android. They're also testing out an AI assistant for faster, personalized help with improvements to help people basically get their accounts back faster. So again, I hope no one ever has to use this. But if you ever find yourself in this situation, there is stuff coming out to help you with it. Okay, also, there was an Instagram and Threads post that went viral, claiming that Meta would start reading people's DMs to feed its AI. And Meta came out and publicly confirmed that the platform would not read your personal DMs to train AI. So the update is false. So in case anyone saw this and their heart skipped a beat, mine would have also. They've come out to confirm that this is not happening. Okay, also, I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a couple updates about people controlling their own algorithms in November of last year, and this continued on in December. So Facebook releases feed updates and algorithm control options. So Facebook is updating its feed, its search and navigation to make it easier to find content and explore interests. The app is also simplifying how people create and share stories and feed posts, and also adding new ways to highlight shared interests with friends through profiles and search. All right. And again, with the algorithm controlling updates, they've also launched new Reels algorithm controls to US users. So you can now adjust your algorithm using new AI powered tools. The way to do that is you head to your interest settings in the Reels tab to see an AI powered summary of your top interests. You can add or remove topics to see more of what you'd like. I'm curious in the chat, would anyone adjust their algorithm? Like, would you ever want to input that you manually want to see more of things? Or do you like that the algorithm brings you things and sometimes feels like it knows you better than you know yourself?
That's a good question. I kind of like that my feed just brings things to me that maybe I would never search for, but then when I'm seeing it, I'm like, yeah, I love this. So it's kind of nice. Maybe if there was like a really specific topic that I'm like trying to learn more about and I'm just not seeing it, I would update it, but I kind of like when they surprise me.
I feel like I'm on that side, but I'm seeing a lot of love for this update in the chat. People are saying, okay, I think I saw Michelle wrote more cats, which I'm like, okay, that could convince me. But yeah, people are saying, yes, they'd love to adjust it. They want to curate their accounts. So interesting to see. Okay, I love when you guys let us know your thoughts because I mean, that's why it's so nice to have these chats because for me, I'm like, I don't know if I would change it. But now I'm seeing lots of arguments for why changing it would be a great thing. So never stop updating us in the chat with your thoughts. I love it. All right. And that is all for Facebook updates. I'll pass it over to Alyssa with Threads updates.
All right. So the first Threads update is that it is testing AI interaction summaries on profiles. So if you go to someone's profile, you'll see a little summary pop up at the top, and it will pretty much summarize your past interactions with that user, which is kind of interesting. But then I'm also like, do I want to know that? Like, do I need to know? I don't know. But I mean, it's there. If you're ever curious about your interactions with another user, it will tell you now. And Threads also wants to make it easier to share posts you've liked and saved. So Threads now lets you quote posts you've saved or liked directly in the composer with a single tap. So if you saved a bunch of things and then you go to make a post, you can now access that really easily. And this is live for iOS and is slowly rolling out to Android. And speaking of algorithm changes, this is a really interesting update. So on Threads, if you want to see more of a certain thing, so like in this image, it says more basketball updates, you can write in a post, you can say, Dear Algo, and then insert thing you want to see more. And then it will influence its recommendations for up to 3 days with this specific thing, which is really interesting because why only 3 days? And then also, why do you have to post this for the world to see that you're wanting more of a certain thing? So like, I understand where it's coming from, but it's just a very interesting approach. So anyone on Threads, let me know if you've seen this or if you've tried this.
I feel the same way. I'm convinced that maybe I'd like to change my algorithm, but I want that to be between me and the algorithm.
Yeah. It should be in your settings.
Exactly.
I looked at the post about this update and I was reading all the comments from people and they were all saying the same thing. They're like, shouldn't this be in my privacy settings and not something I have to write publicly? So maybe they'll change this up after a little bit, but if you do want to try it out, it is there for you. And Threads launches more topic-based communities. So Threads is expanding its communities feature, doubling available interest groups to 200 plus topics, which is really cool. And they're testing new tools to boost engagement. So this includes community champion badges to highlight key voices. This is kind of reminding me of LinkedIn when they would have like the LinkedIn top voice. And the community flair labels, so members can show specific interests within their groups. So very cool. We love that. And I'll pass it to Natalie for LinkedIn.
I'm just loving everyone now typing in the chat like what they would ask their algorithm. Dear algo, show me more below deck med drama.
I would write that.
Yeah. And then I saw someone else write, Dear algo, more heated rivalry, please.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's hop over to LinkedIn updates. So we've just got one from December, and LinkedIn had released a guide that highlights how brands can get started with LinkedIn ads. So on LinkedIn, we've said it before, I think we'll say it a bit more this year. LinkedIn video is the fastest growing format on LinkedIn, and their video ad guide includes tips on how to start a video ads campaign, a helpful list of like video ads best practices, and useful resources when it comes to making ads. And that is it for LinkedIn for December. I'll pass it back to Alyssa for X.
All right. So if you were enjoying the chronological order of X, it will no longer do that anymore. So using AI, it will now sort the following feed by predicted engagement and relevance. So based on what you've interacted with in the past and what you're searching, that's what it will show you first, and it will no longer show you things in chronological order. So I'm very sorry about that. And X is launching a chat app on desktop. So this will pretty much be their DMs, just in a separate web app, similar to something like WhatsApp, allowing users to chat without the main feed. So I wonder on X, like if you're active on X, do you use the DM feature a lot, or is it more so just like posting and reading things? Like I wonder if people would be really active in a chat app on X. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see. And that's all. But I'll pass it to Natalie for industry news.
Okay, perfect. We had a couple of industry news updates from December. So the first one is that Snapchat is going to be banned in Russia. So this full ban could remove around 8 million users from the platform, in addition to the loss of all under 16 users in Australia. So that is a big move over there. And Pinterest has released its 2026 trends predictions. So according to Pinterest predicts, 2026 trends will center on comfort, authenticity, and I love this last one, optimism, as people look to escape overstimulation and trend fatigue. Because consumers are prioritizing emotional comfort, they're choosing trends that align with their identity, and they're embracing grounded, present-focused optimism over the long-term planning. So that's an interesting update to see. And Reddit is starting to test verified profiles. So they're testing out verified profiles with gray check marks to help users identify when they're engaging with confirmed individuals or businesses, such as experts, journalists, celebrities, or brands, which I suppose is a lot easier than have anyone seen one of those like, I'm so-and-so, ask me anything, and they'll post like a picture of themselves. I suppose this is an easier way than doing that. So that's pretty cool to see. And then back to Snapchat with one more industry update. They've launched Quick Cut, which is an in-app editing tool. So Quick Cut will instantly turn photos and clips from memories into like beat synced, ready to share videos. And that is it for industry updates. I'm going to pass it back over to Alyssa for some HeyOrca updates.
Yes. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, I'm plugging it again. I'm going to be chatting about this feature tomorrow. But back in December, we launched sentiment analysis, which is really fun. So this is a new area within the brand monitoring report, and it essentially gives you a vibe check on your community. So you can see in the photo, there's the overall sentiment, and then it will also summarize how your community is feeling through their comments, their mentions. It is so cool. I love reading ours. So if you're interested in learning more about this feature, you can start a trial and try it out for yourself, and you can read tomorrow's newsletter. because I highlight it there as well. But it's a super cool feature. If you have used it, let me know in the chat. Oh, Jen says sentiment analysis is so good. Yay. It is really good. It is really fun to read. And yeah, that was the big feature release from December. I'm so excited for you all to see our feature releases in the next coming months. It's going to be so much fun. And that's everything. That is everything. Do not forget to enter our LinkedIn contest to win the $50 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is talk about something you learned in this webinar. So maybe there was an update that you really liked. You could talk about that. Maybe there were a few you liked. Maybe there was one you didn't like. You could talk about that as well. But yeah, don't forget to enter. You can win more than once, so you may as well try.
And you've got until Tuesday at noon EST. So if you're like, I'm swamped with tasks today and tomorrow, don't worry. You've got the weekend, you've got Monday, and then Tuesday until noon. And then we'll be picking a winner. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining and for, as per usual, being the most wonderful webinar community in the entire world. Always being so fun and engaging in the chat. And yeah, can't wait for next week's webinar. But until then, we'll sign off. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.